I can break your heart or make you feel love. Here are 10 ways to make you appear like a high status person. Number one, confident body language, very important. In fact, our body in general, there's been research that has shown with regard to being or appearing like a high class person that if you are around better classes, you are affecting the way your heart health is, which is really incredible. So having confident body language is about learning from people who essentially have it, isn't it? Standing tall, maintaining good posture, and not just standing up, but sitting in a way that's proper. And I can emphasize this right now, rather than being slumped over and looking down as if the world is like on your shoulders as such, rounded shoulders and eyes diverted away from attention. It's not going to help you. But being open, standing tall, is opening your heart in the yogic sense. Standing or sitting tall with a straight spine and shoulders, not necessarily back. There's this huge thing about shoulders being back, but just being level and even the chest muscles. Therefore, you are showing that, hey, I'm open. Also, for a female, opening the neck is a very good thing. And you'll see that when there's mating games going on, when there's an attraction there towards a particular male and so on. So keeping eye contact as well with regard and holding that body language and that nice center of gravity with the feet in a neutral position. But by having a great body language, standing and sitting tall, the second thing is dressing well. I hope that my dress is okay today. It's about not necessarily dressing the most formally of ways, but to represent your status or wanting to be in a better status, you have to be clean. That's the first thing. If you are like constantly dirty, people will pick up on it. For example, I saw a guy one particular day and he had food stuff on his chest and you could see it had dribbled down and it was impossible to ignore. So being clean and tidy, not necessarily the most stylish, but making and showing an effort that you've done that is really important. Wearing well-fitting clothing is truly important as well with regard to that. And trying to look at your grooming and say, hey, look, this guy has checked or girl has checked themselves out in the mirror prior to going out in public. And they smell good. They smell at least neutral. Having BO or body odor is not a good look for anybody. It's not a good, not necessarily look, but smell from anybody. Nobody wants to be around somebody that has that particular habit going on. So just being more attentive to our needs physically in that way. Third thing is speaking clearly and assertively. I'm trying to be as clear as possible. You mightn't understand my Irish accent, for example, but at least I'm separating the words, one word from another. A lot of people can slur their speech. They can be just disrespectful of the language that they're speaking with, and also bring bad language or cursing into a sentence. And that's not, it's never welcome. Yeah, sure, it can emphasize a particular joke or maybe comical in the short term, but not in general terms when people all around you are feeling a nice level, open mood towards a situation or event. People just want to have a normal, straight, good language conversation. So speaking clearly and assertively shows confidence and conviction in what you're saying. No matter if it's just a one sentence conversation, it's really important to have and hold the eye contact, say the sentence with conviction and mean it, really mean it, putting that tone into your voice. So communicate with clarity and authority if you're in a leadership position. That does not mean to say that you have to be authoritarian, but showing conviction in your leadership gives that authority, and it gives people the feeling that this person is in control of what they're trying to lead. Not necessarily in control of me, the employee, or the player or the athlete or anything like that, but in control of how they're trying to plan, how they're trying to control the situation, the unexpected that may come in the future and so on. So speaking at a moderate pace, again, trying to do that right now in this video, rather than speaking very hurriedly and saying, hey, look, and all of this, that can really irritate the majority of people. Now, it's okay if you're really enthusiastic and you've won something, or people around you have won something really important. That's okay too. But generally at a moderate pace, and try to avoid ifs, buts, maybes of mumbling, head down again. First example, head down and mumbling. You often get these type of people physically with this non-erect body language and sitting down or looking down toward the ground and mumbling away as well under their breath. Active listening, the opposite side of the verbal. The 2 ears and 1 mouth, as we know, awfully important to realize you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. If you're a manager, if you're a leader, it's very important to listen to the needs of the people that are at your disposal. These are the foot soldiers. These are the workers. So listen to their needs. Keeping them happy comes from listening to them. Putting into place everything they want to happen or occur, not necessarily. But if you listen to them attentively and you actually genuinely are thinking about what they're saying, you're putting up it as a possibility of changing or altering what you're doing in the business or in the organization. That is showing true active listening. People can tell body language. They can tell through your eye contact, your facial expressions and so on, whether you're actually listening or you're just blank and switching off, blank slate. So show genuine interest by maintaining this and nodding and asking thoughtful questions. Do it next time, this time, next one, with positivity, and have that positive attitude. Just being around positive people shortens the working day, or shortens the time where we feel generally kind of sluggish, or that 3 o'clock time in the day if you're 9 to 5 can be quite tricky if you're around negative people. So maintain a positive outlook and a focus on solutions rather than just seeing the problems. Every situation that comes up for a high status person, they have had huge problems, but they get over them because they're positive. And they exude that body language, like I said before, about the erect posture, chest open, and as they say in the yogic tradition, the heart opening sequence is opening the chest. So if you can do that, you exude positivity, and having a positive attitude then can just run right through your organization. Quality conversations are hugely important. I mentioned speaking and also active listening, but by engaging in meaningful conversation that truly demonstrates your knowledge of a particular topic, event, or something that's going on, and also showing curiosity about a variety of subjects. Again, you can do that through active listening. It's a two-way conversation if you have more than 2 people. Also, your body language with how you stand, if you're an authoritarian figure, and if you want to show more democratic principles, and there's 2 other people there, make sure you're standing in a type of triangle, in that you're all different points of that triangle, rather than you standing in front of them and down over them, especially if they're sitting. So having quality conversations depends on the atmosphere and the environment that you have around. And you set that out as a leader. Effective time management. Yes. There are so many tasks in a day, there's so many things you need to do, and you are busy, I get it. So you need to plan for this effectively. Time management is so important. Now, if you've done all of the other things and you've communicated with your staff, if you've communicated with people, with the athletes, those under your particular guidance, then you can communicate, look, there's only so many hours in the day. You can actually be very genuine and honest and open. Say, look, I need you to be able to be punctual when you come in the morning time. I need you to be able to take your lunch on time, come back on time, because the other person is taking the lunch, and we need that freshness of approach where both one comes, one goes, and everyone's attended to and so on, if you're in a caring position or whatever. But being punctual, and it shows respect, and respect other people's time as well, more so when they're leaving at the end of a work day, for example. Have healthy boundaries. So you can have great conversations, be very close, but set the boundaries, your professional versus your personal relationships. There is a boundary. People can call you an acquaintance, but in reality, very few people continue relationships, friendships even, after they work in a workplace, or if they're in a relationship and something breaks up. It's very, very difficult. The boundaries can become muddied. Try to have an aim for, from the very, very off, have healthy boundaries. And that's about being genuine and giving trust as well, because that's what high class and caliber people will do. They will look at the holistic picture, look at your point of view, have empathy in that. So setting clear boundaries and just like avoid engaging in unnecessary drama and conflicts. Nobody really wants that in the longer term. Network and build relationships. A little bit like the last one. By networking though, you're casting the net like a fisherman or a fisherwoman. You're putting it out there and you're trying to make it work. That's the net. The net is working. It's working if you communicate, if you're an active listener, if you're speaking well, if you're clear, if you're trying. And this video, for example, is a networking tool. So you can get in touch with me. I'd love for you to get in touch with me. Contributions, collaborations, and so on, ideas are always welcome. This is all it is. It's a reach out in many ways. So if you can network and build relationships, you're building a strong network of connections. And you always can, like going into your purse or your wallet, you can always just pick out somebody from your, well, I was going to say Filofax. This was many years ago, from your phone book or your email list, and you can check a person that you've built a relationship with over the years, because that's truly important. We never know the future in many ways. Lastly, always be open to continual learning. If you want to have that high status, you need to be able to be open to continual learning. Stay informed, know the industry trends and relevant topics. Then you can help others along the way. Get in touch with an old colleague, an old networking relationship, and you can build from there. That's how you get high status in 10. There's more than that though. Stay tuned. Subscribe if you wish. If not, well, maybe the status and the high of that status is going to be limited. Who knows? Anyway, for now, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.